Hi everyone, good evening. How are all of you today? How's everyone feeling? Can I see some emojis? Great, great. So, welcome to the workshop on Google Cloud and Vertex AI. This is a part of the GDG on Campus Present Solutions Challenge powered by Hack to Skill. I'm Uzma and I'll be your host for today's session. We are super excited to have you all here because this journey has started and there was a lot of excitement around this session also. This is the first workshop of this hackathon, and it's great to see so many of you here. And I know there are a lot of people on YouTube also watching us. So before we begin, I'd like to request all of you to keep your mics on mute during the session. We'll have a Q&A session at the end, so all your questions will be answered there. To talk a little bit about the Solutions Challenge as a whole, it is organized by GDG on campus in collaboration with Hack to Skill for student developers like you from various colleges or universities across the country. It's an opportunity for student developers to tackle real world issues and such as education, healthcare, poverty, sustainability, and so much more. So you can tackle all of these using some amazing Google developer technologies. And participants can not just gain invaluable skills, but they can also contribute to making a positive impact on the society. Here is the timeline of the hackathon. We are currently in the registration phase, which will go until 6th March. This phase also includes workshops like this one. These workshops are scheduled to make sure that you can upskill and then shine bright in the solution challenge. You will have until March 28th to submit your projects, and then we'll evaluate your projects and announce the top 100 on 21st April. This will be followed by personalized mentorship sessions, and then you'll have to submit your final prototypes by 25th May. After evaluating those, we'll announce the top 10, and those teams will be finally invited to the grand finale in the second week of July. So that's about the timeline. Before we move further, I will also tell you a little bit about the resources section on the website. We have compiled some resources for you. There's the social toolkit where you'll find all the promotional content that you require about the hackathon, from emails that you can send to your community to social media posts that you can use. There's also the content palette, which is a whole document full of resources and information about different technologies. The goal of this is to give you the resources for you to build on your knowledge and use them to build your solution. And we understand that you're a student and it may not be easy to figure out all the nitty gritties of the entire process of redeeming free cloud credits. So we have also made a document outlining all of that, all of the steps for that also. Now, if you need more motivation to give it your all, there's a cash pool prize of 8 lakhs with the winning solution taking 2 lakhs, followed by 1.5 lakh for the first runner up and 1.25 lakh for the second runner up. We will also have two special category winners who will win 75,000 each. Apart from these cash prizes, the top 100 teams will also get certificates of achievement, and the top teams will also get a chance to attend this career fair. So there's really quite a lot to take away from it, and I encourage you to give it your best shot. Like I mentioned, that some of you may not be 100% clear on the process of redeeming cloud credits. And while we have made a document outlining the entire process, but to help you better understand it, we have Ganesh with us, who will be walking you through a live demonstration to make it even easier for you. So, Ganesh, you can take it over.
Yeah, thank you, Uzma. So, as Uzma said, guys, it's not fair for us to just give a document and a step of steps and ask you to read them from your end. So, we wanted to give you a brief walkthrough of how to redeem the free trials on the Google Crowds. And Uzma, let me present my screen.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, you can see my screen.
Yes, now we can.
So, okay. So, as once you are on the Hackathon official solution challenge hackathon website, you can see multiple sections over here. As Usma said, we are given the useful resources over here itself. So if you navigate to the resource section, you can see multiple resources like the toolkit, content palette, and a process to redeem kits linked over here itself. On this table, just go to the process to redeem cloud credits, and you can click on this link. So once you click on this link, it will navigate you to a doc which contains important key information regarding the Google Cloud Platform credits and how to activate those and the step-by-step process along with the screenshot. Everything is attached over here. So what I would ask you to do is before redeeming the credits, just go through each and every step and each and every criteria which is given in the platform with features. So which is nothing but why this is cloud feature is for, and there are a lot of topics saying program eligibility, the program initiation, everything. So just make sure you go through all of those things because these are the key things to redeem the free trial. Because once you avail certain Google things, say for example, they are given Google Cloud and Google Maps and Firebase. If you are not a paying customer, then you can have this free trial. But because if you are paying customer before for this Google Cloud, Google Maps platform, then this clouds may not be free credits may not be available for you. And also you shouldn't have never availed this free trial before, then only you can get it. So it's only one time use and it's the first time use. So just go through the whole doc once you just start redeeming the credits for the Google Cloud. And there are some points to remember for the participant sites, how what they can expend the 90 days, what we will do after 90 days is expired. Say, for example, what the 90 days has expired and my project is one of the top 100 projects. Don't worry, we will take care of those from our end itself. We will reach out to you. We will give you the necessary steps regarding after the top qualifying 100. But if your project doesn't fit on the top 100 things, then yeah, you can need to disable the account, even though there is no transactions or auto recurring will occur. But in safer side, to be in safer side, just deactivate the billing account. Just we don't want to have any queries or anything like in the furthest. Just to be in safer side, make sure after the 90 days you disable the billing account. So just diving into how to redeem your Google credits, we have given a very detailed steps and what happens in every single process of the page. But still we wanted to guide you through everything. That's why we wanted to have this in the session. Just click on the link given over here in the very first step. It will navigate you towards the Google Cloud page. So once you're there, make sure you sign in using your registered solutions challenge account. Once you are there, you can see get started for free as a button. Click on the button and it will again direct you to another page where you're going to set up some payment method and you're going to verify yourself that you're not a bot or any AI, something like that. Select a country as India and click on agree and continue. Make sure the account is same as what you registered for solutions challenge and click on agree and continue. Just give a couple of seconds guys, my network is always slow over here. And the second step is verify your identity. So the reason why we are verifying identity is same as what we said. We are doing it because just to check that you are not a bot or an AI, something like that. So you will be getting something called create your new payments profile like that. Since I already signed up for one time, it's not showing me. So the second option will be your first option over here itself. So click on create a new payment profile and there will be an option here called individual profile type as individual or organization. So as you can see over here, the payment profile, you can see create new payments profile. If you click on that icon, you can see profile type as organization as individual. So click on the box and click on the individual as an option. And you need to fill in your basic details. Basic details in the sense your first name and last name or a full legal name, your state address and your city, your PIN code and your state. So once you've given all this information and clicked on continue, the page will look like this along with your information. So your payment profile is now created along with your payment ID over here. Now the second step is we're gonna add a payment method over here. This is a very crucial step because the only payment method which you're allowed to choose is the UPI QR code. So that's a very easiest method and most safe and reliable method which you can complete in a very couple of minutes, and you don't have to go through the hassle of getting into some other payments profile and waiting for the confirmation or debited, but still it's not reflected. But UPI is the very easiest and the very flexible payment method right now. So once you click on that, you can click on start free button. So the page is setting up and you will receive a QR code like this. So once you receive a QR code, you can scan using your payment. Say, for example, if you're using GPay or PhonePe, Paytm, any payments app, you can scan using them. and set up a payment method for auto recurring for up to 5,000. I mean 15,000. So it's not gonna debit you 15,000, guys. So don't worry. It's just a auto recurring setup which initially we used to do for the what to say OTD apps, right? So we initially set up for a limit of 199 or 249 according to service you are getting. The same as goes over here. You're setting a auto recurring for 15,000. Initially, when you set up all these things, amount of 2 rupees will be deducted from your account to just to make sure it's an valid Indian account and you have a really a Indian what to say bank. So it will deduct 2 rupees. Once that is done, you will see a pop-up page like here called Google Cloud Platform. You don't have to do anything over here, guys. You don't have to describe the organization. You don't have to fill in all the 2, 3, 4 steps. Just click on close. Once you close it, as you can see here itself, you are in a free trial. So once everything is set it up, you will receive the 25,662 credits to your account. And the main thing for this account credits is you don't have to disable the thing in the 90 days in the website. But if you're using an UPI like GPay, PhonePe, you can pause or stop the payment from the UPI app, but don't disable them from the website itself. What happens if you disable from the website is if you're working on certain projects or if you're working on certain any feature from the cloud and it's using the free credits, if you disable them from the website, the steps given over here, then what it will do is it will erase all the things like you had. So you have to pay for the services too. So it will basically take everything from you and the credits also gone. So don't ever do it in the first 90 days. Don't cancel the billing from the website, but you can definitely pause it or stop it from the UPI app. I'm sure you guys know how to pause it from a UPI app. If you just search it for the recurring payments or auto UPIs, it will show the list of auto UPIs you have. You can click on the Google Pay or Phone Pay, whatever the app you are using. According to the you can pause or you can cancel the payment. So, but on the website, after 90 days, say for example, Ganesh, my project has not got selected in the top 100, but I don't want this billing to be a hectic for me. I don't go to every day to search my accounts seeing that there is 15,000 debit over here. So what you can do is, even though the transaction won't happen, it's just a authentication purpose. To be in a safer side, we are asking you to do this on the website. So after 90 days, if your project has not got selected in the top 100, if you are in top 100, that's a total different case scenario. We will take care of it. We will reach out to you. Don't worry about that. But if you are not in top 100, so what you have to do is click on the three dots near. So once you set up with the billing account, this is how your account looks like. So in this account, you can see a three dots in the top right corner. Click on it, and you can select the billing account manager for the free trial. Once you come that, you can see the project name. This is your my first project is a usual thing, and you can see an actions with three dots. Click on it, and you can disable the billing. So once you disable the billing, that is done. But I'm just saying it again. If you are working on a project and if you're using Google Cloud, don't disable the billing from the website in the initial 90 days. Once and only if your project not got selected in the top 100 or you don't want to proceed with the Google Cloud anymore, I don't want billing, I'm not using Google Cloud, then you can disable from the billing. But in safer side, have a pause or a stop payment from the UPI app itself. So just to make sure this authorization never happens, like this transaction of 15,000 never happens. This is only for authorization purpose. But to be in safer side, we want you not to get to in a sufferer side. We just posting it like giving the steps proactively so that if and all there was something to happen, you can proactively stop or pause the account so it won't happen in the future. Suppose if there is a payment dispute I want to make, the document also has the payment dispute link. So you can click on it and it will take you to the support of the Google Cloud where you can go through all the steps and you can give your name and what is the unknown charges. If there is any unknown charges from the Google Cloud out, you don't remember that this charges was not communicated to us earlier. Why I'm seeing these charges? You can describe this and the team will reach out to you from their end. So this is how this all the GCP works. You don't have to worry about getting debited 15,000, but to be in safer side, we are asking you to pause or stop from the UPI app. And after 90 days, only and only if your project is not getting it top 100, you can disable the account. And this is a good platform. You can make sure you can use a lot of things. 25,000 is a good amount of credits that you can export throughout the platform, make your interactive projects. You can help a lot of things using these projects. So if you have any questions on this GCP, we will have it in the Q&A session, like just like Uzma said. And Uzma, if you're on, you can take it over.
Great. Thank you so much, Ganesh. Just give me a sec. Yes. So now, finally, to the workshop, have Hemanand Rajendra, data and AI specialist, who is here with us today. He has taken out a special time to share his knowledge with us. So, Hemanand, over to you.
Hey, Uzma. Am I audible?
Yes, audible.
All right.
You can share your screen. I'll.
So, right, let me share my screen. Visible, right? Hope everyone is able to see my screen.
Yes, yes, we are.
Just a second. All right. Yep. Thank you, everyone, for joining in for this solutions challenge session. It's been exciting to be part of this challenge. I've been part of this hackathon set of events happening for GTG, uh, the on-campus ones. I think it's more than a year since I've been involved with either Rahul or with Tanvi before. So the kind of use cases that you folks are going to be working on are also going to be interesting. I hope some of you are able to come up with innovative solutions in the agriculture or sustainability or even things around hygiene and healthcare and all that. So good luck to all of you who are part of this challenge. I hope it is going to be a good learning experience to all of you. So moving on about this session. So I am going to be speaking about Google Cloud, how Google Cloud is going to be giving you various set of solutions that can help you build various set of products that can help you build solutions for the use cases that you're working on. And also with respect to Vertex AI, which is the AI platform which Google has built for a various set of use cases around the predictive AI and the generative AI space. So moving on, I am going to take a simple use case as a reference for us to understand the entire Google Cloud journey or the cloud transformation journey, as well as how we want to implement something, some innovative solutions using Vertex AI. Any questions? Like if you have any questions, I'll probably wait. I request you all to wait until the Q&A time, which I'll probably have around the last 5 to 10 minutes. Um, right. So if let's take a scenario where you are basically building something like an e-commerce app. Since you are all new, many of you are out of college, um, you are beginning to explore things, and then you're basically trying to build an e-commerce app. So if you see, um, you probably start with building different set of features within an e-commerce app, which could be like how we want to place, how we want the user to place orders, how we want the users to place see their orders, how you want the users to uh, see what kind of products are available on your app, and how you want to do the delivery and all that. So for all these different features in your product, you may probably come up with different set of modules which are probably going to be talking to each other in terms of um, like uh, like you create instances of different classes and then you start talking to them. Say, for example, you want to integrate your sellers, you probably might have set of interfaces for the sellers to talk to. And for your users, you probably might have a web app or like a mobile app, which are probably going to be powered by some kind of an UI like AngularJS or Node.js or some Angular or any other front-end app like Flask or so. But so you built it, it is successful. You're starting to see more users. Um, so your app is hosted somewhere on your, say, probably your local system or some server which is sitting in your lab or so. So you start more users start using it, but then you realize that when one of these services breaks, or when your data, there is a chance that your database could get full or so, or you want to do some maintenance on your server also. In those situations, your app goes down. It is not online. So in that situation, what do you do? So you want to decouple how users or how the services interact with each other. So you go to something called a microservices-based architecture. So in microservices-based architecture, it's like there are different versions or different um, services which are lying in different places, and each of them talk to each other through some means, through some kind of a REST protocol, or some kind of APIs also. Um, yeah, thank you. Um, so so if you see, let's just break down to what a typical microservice might have is, like, for example, we go to the next slide. So for an order management feature of your product, you probably might have a database which is running, uh, which has tables for all your products, for all your orders related information. You probably might have a payment service for people to make payments, or you want to do some refunds to your customers and all that. You might have different services. For delivery, you might have a different service. So each of them will have their own versions of databases, their own set of configurations that you want to deal with and all that. So now your microservices architecture is performing really well. If something goes down, your entire app is not going down, but it's just one single service or so. But this can work well when your number of users are probably less or so. But then what happens if you want to release your app to the entire country or to the entire region? You probably might have more. You probably want to reach out to more users also. In those situations, cloud can come to your help, which is basically which is going to make scaling your app pretty faster. Or if you want to scale down your app, by meaning if it is an off season, you don't want to waste resources, basically your server resources also, a cloud may be a good point to start with. So you start migrating all your apps to the cloud. So this could be like any typical e-commerce or any other app that you want to build on the cloud. This could be a sample architecture or a sample reference for you to start with. Say, for example, if you have users in US, they might be getting routed to like your apps instances which are present in US based regions. For users who are based out of Singapore, you probably might you may be serving those requests from uh, a region which is present in Singapore. If for India, you probably might have created different versions or like a different um, instance of your app which is running in the India region. So all of this is probably going to be, say, for example, let's say you have store.google.com. So depending upon the country, it gets routed to this thing, to that region or so. So that's how cloud can help you scale. Now, coming to Google Cloud on how it is going to help you scale up, or how it is going to help developers, how it is going to build business, or probably build different help you build different solutions across uh, various verticals. I'll probably show some of the typical or some of the verticals that Google Cloud is uh, going to be helpful for you. So what Google Cloud offers is across 5 different verticals, which is the uh, the infra side. If you see, one of the world's best class hardware. For example, if you want to run your uh, servers, uh, you may be or you may even choose to run your applications on Kubernetes apps, or you want to have uh, bare metal solutions, which is like Oracle databases or any of those. All of it is available as part of the infra cloud, which Google Cloud supports. Now, developer cloud is some set of features that Google Cloud offers in terms of uh, how quickly developers can adapt or build their solutions on the cloud. It gives an entire set of ecosystem for you to be able to build uh, apps on the fly, or even uh, good amount of collaboration in terms of uh, uh, developers to work with. So as you start building your apps, your data is set to grow. So you probably might have to run analytical solutions on the cloud, uh, which has to scale up or down based on various needs also. For you might probably be running something like a transaction processing system, which is like your order management system. For that, you may choose some kind of a database or so. If you want to run large scale reports or so, then you probably might need some analytical processing system like BigQuery or so. Security cloud. Um, why security? If you see, when you are building something, be it on your local systems or be it uh, on your own data centers, or something on the cloud, security is a key aspect. So, I mean, if there is a small data breach or so, also that's going to put your app in a big problem. So, right. So, for all these different cases, Google Cloud has different set of products, different set of features available um, for developers, businesses to build solutions and scale it up. So covering all of these different verticals or different set of individual products is the Google's infrastructure, which which are all driven by huge data centers on the across the globe, and in all of these different data centers, in all of these different infrastructure components, Google has incorporated some or the other in generative AI models, um, which are going to be helpful in the longer run for people to bring their solutions um, faster into production. So let me go into the next slide, which is what is the scale of Google Cloud um, that is currently operational in the public. You all might have some or the other way you might be using Gmail, chat, or you now even this Meet platform or YouTube and all that is all powered by Google's infrastructure. So, and if you see each and every product that use from Google, be it the workspace, be it the cloud, which you're probably going to be using as part of the hackathon, or the models and all that, is being powered by generative AI models uh, across all these products. So, and it is not just around like you talk to a model in terms of a prompt, like a text message, like how you search for a certain thing with Google search or so. There are different modalities. Even like you could you could work with these products in terms of voice by using text, or even you could upload some images and you could search for all that. So all of these are different modalities, by meaning the way you interact with these products in some or the other way is powered by some or the other uh, generative AI and the foundational models which Google has built over the last 10 years, maybe a decade. So powering all of these experiences is these models. Uh, so if you see, uh, if you want to explore something that is available on the Google Cloud, Vertex AI is a place. So Vertex AI is basically the platform with which developers, businesses can build their own models, not just generative AI models. Not generative AI is something like which can generate free form text or audio or any of these models. Not just generative, but also predictive. By meaning predictive, I mean something like forecasting your orders, something like um, detecting text within images, or probably even uh, understanding if an image is good or not, uh, by understanding uh, understanding different languages, translation. For all that, Vertex AI provides a great set of tools and features for people to work with. So I will. So once this is done, I'll walk you through what Vertex AI has in terms of what offers in terms of the features and all that. And if time permits, we will also go for a demo on how we can build a simple set of solution with Gemini. So Vertex AI as such as is powered by the Google Cloud's infrastructure, which is basically a huge set of servers running GPUs and TPUs, which are powering majority of the features which Vertex AI provides. So if you see, Vertex AI is has three major components which you can build AI-based solutions. The first one is Agent Builder. So Agent Builder is like a set of tools for you to be able to build different types of agents by meaning conversational agents, or if you want to build a search-based agent, or if you want to talk to your different uh, files across locations. It could be on your drive, or it could be on your uh, cloud storage, or if you want to uh, build some chatbots which are based out of your website and all that. Vertex AI Agent Builder is a tool which uh, which you can go for, and it is most likely that um, the kind of setup that you may be doing is like low code or probably no code, where you could uh, upload a document and then you start building a chatbot based on that. Um, the second one is the model builder, which is where a great deal of innovation comes into picture. So you want to build your own models, you want to build your own applications using the foundational models which Google provides, like Gemini, Palm, or even any other models like translation API or any other models that may be helping you with, which are available in the open source as well. You could train them, you could tune those models according to the choice, and you could build applications with the Vertex AI model builder. The model garden is the place to go if you are looking for pre-built models which may be provided by Google or some of the open source models that are available for you to readily use, or some partner-based models. So partner-based models is something like Anthropic or even Claude or Meta. So these are all the different types of model providers. Many of you might be already familiar with um, the latest model which um, Google launched, which is Gemini. The open source version of this is Gemma. So Meta probably releases different versions of Llama. Anthropic probably releases different model versions over a period of time. So all that can be um, utilized from the model garden. Yeah, so we'll just dive into what different types of models that are available in Model Garden, and then I'll probably go walk through the console for like what are all available, and then how you can play with Vertex AI. And so there are different types of, as I was mentioning, there are different types of models which Model Garden may be providing. So the foundational models is like the Google's own model, Gemini, which is the most advanced model that you can probably come across in the market, which provides different types of capabilities across modalities. And along with that, we have the Palm models, which are like um, model specific or like modality specific models. Imagen is like one of the models where you could just enter a text or a prompt, and the model is capable of generating images uh, out of the text that you've entered. So chirp, code are all like different functionalities. I'll probably show you in the demo. Task specific models is something like which are like very task oriented. So for example, speech to text is a model where it processes speech and it could return text as an output. Or if you want to uh, listen to some audio recordings and then uh, you want those models to give the entire audio recordings text or so, you could probably go to speech to text models or so. Translation. So most of you might have used Google Translate or so. So the model um, uh, that supports Google Translate at the back is probably the translation API, where you could give an input in one language, and then people could use this model to provide input in one language of their choice, probably their mother tongue or so, and then they want to translate it into English, or like hundreds and hundreds, probably even 180 to 190 languages are probably supported by that language, by this model also. Next, moving to the domain specific models. Domain specific models are like which are specific to certain industries, specific to certain um, um, uh, vertical. I would say something like MedPalm, which is like very focused, highly focused on the healthcare domain. So it has deep understanding of what could happen, what basically happens with the healthcare industry. Like you want to um, if you when you go to a hospital, you get the discharge summary at the end of your admission or so. So these models would be able to understand um, what the discharge summary contains also. And security palm is SecPalm is like specific to cybersecurity. So it understands what threats mean, what vulnerabilities could come across. So these are all different applications that you come. And last is partner in the open set of models, which is like models like Llama, Falcon, and even Anthropic Claude. So these are all the models that you could see on the Vertex AI model garden. Yeah, so with this, I'll move to the Google Cloud console to show you all these features. And yeah, let me stop sharing this. Yeah, so you could see a lot of features which Vertex AI provides, which is around these. I'll just start with this, which is where your Vertex AI dashboard looks like. So coming to, if you see the left side pane of Vertex AI, it provides you with different features. So a dashboard is where you could see like a holistic view of what is happening on your Vertex AI. It also has links to the model garden. So let me quickly go into model garden. So if you see here with the model garden, so that there are different modalities, or basically like if you want to look at tabular data, you probably can use some of the models which are good uh, in this specific modality, which is like talking to tables which are present in some form, like probably like a table, BigQuery table or something like that. So the tabnet is one such model that you can see. AutoML is like a low code solution which Google Cloud provides. So it's like you you could build your models based on UI based clicks or so. It's like a table which is created within Google Cloud, or probably in some kind of file or so which you could upload, and then you would be able to train uh, the model to do some tasks like classification or forecasting on the tabular data through an UI-based interface also. Let me also go to things like multimodal. So I was already mentioning that Gemini is the most advanced model, which is like multimodal in nature. So you would see a lot of different versions of Gemini, also along with the other models that may be supporting multimodal input. So it could be an input which is multimodal, or the output which could be multimodal. Gemini is the most recent model that was released sometime in December, and everyone is excited about using it. I hope your next session, which is on Gemini 2.0, is going to be helping you and exploring a lot of features of Gemini, and definitely you're going to be mind blown with it. So before the Gemini 2.0, we had released with some models called the Gemini 1.5 Pro and Flash, which are like multimodal in nature and can even accept huge by huge, I mean like pages and pages of text or even videos and all that. So based on the tasks you want to do also, you have like different types of models available here. Say, for example, radiology. So for radiology, we have some kind of a model. Or if you want to do some kind of recognition activities, Gemini is always there. But there may be other models, something like the MovieNet and tag recognition models and all that. And based on who is providing which cloud provider has given, you probably might see different versions of models. So these are all from Meta, this is from DeepSeek. So if you have recently read about the latest model which DeepSeek releases, they'll probably be available soon on Google Cloud as well. So moving on to the next session, which is the workbench. So for you to be able to build your solutions or build your like try out different concepts on the cloud, we have something called workbench and collab interface. So these are like your Jupyter notebooks, which you run it on your local, but then the Jupyter notebooks are um, installed with a lot of pre-built libraries like TensorFlow, Keras, uh, or even PyTorch. These are all the models or the libraries that may be coming pre-built and that too on cloud. So it directly connects to your infrastructure, and you can build and run models on your system in your workbench. Now I'll go to the Vertex AI Studio. So some of you may already be using something called the Gen AI Studio, um, or the Google AI Studio, which is like where you could test out the models like Gemini with your um, AI Studio account. So a similar version of it, which uh, is built on the cloud, is the Vertex AI Studio. So I'll quickly go to the Vertex AI Studio, what it has to offer. So if you see to the right is where you could select what are all the different models available. So Gemini is always there, and you could also see the third-party models available. So if you want to be able to use these models, and you want to like start building some kind of an app with the Gemini models also, this is a place where you could start um, writing or building your prompt. A prompt is basically uh, a text instruction which is given to your large language model so that it uh, does some activity based on what you give. So just to get started, so this is my some of the favorite prompt. I use the sky blue one color just to check how it is working or not. So you can start typing in here, and you can also start controlling the temperature. The temperature is basically how much the model has to be um, creating content, how creative it can be, or how factual it can be. So the higher the temperature, it means the model is more creative enough. The lower temperature means the model is more factual. So it gives the responses in such a way that. And the output token limit. So if you want to limit your output to a certain length or so, say for example, I say explain in less than 20 words. So you could do it in your prompt, or you could control it with your output token limit. You see here the effect of this explain in less than 20 words, meaning the model has changed the output all the way to like reducing the output to the less than 20 words in number. So you could see like how many um, uh, word limit your tokens are, and then the output is also generated. So you could also play with the output format. So for example, you want to get an output in a JSON format also, which is basically like if you want to uh, build multiple layers of applications also, you could control the output format here. Um, let's just change it to give. And corresponding set of indicators. So you see here, I've set the output format as JSON here. So the output has totally got converted into a JSON format here. So in building various kind of applications also, this could be a useful step where you force the model to give you, like, instead of giving like long forms or text also, you want to process the model's output by some other thing also. In those cases, this may be a useful thing for you to work with. Now, there are ways for you to interact with your files or your media. By media, I mean it could be an audio file, or it could be your, say, you want to view or like process a YouTube video file to generate some transcript also. For all that, this the Vertex AI Studio has capabilities for you to do it. So by URL, you could provide like URL to a publicly available document also, you could do it. Or if you want to import something from cloud storage, you can very well do it, which is like you could select some file which is available in your cloud bucket. I probably don't have much here. Yeah, I don't have much here, but yeah, you could do it. Um, right. So Vertex AI, the prompt studio here, or the AI studio here, gives you like basic set of um, capabilities for you to get started with prompting, and as well as you start um, improvising, you could probably uh, use it. Now you want to use the same thing in your application code. So that's when it starts becoming interesting. For example, this is just a piece of text that you've tried it on your console. But if you want to build say, if you want to build a website where you want a chatbot to be integrated also, the chatbot should be like linked with your web, and then you want it to be talking as APIs or all that. So for those, you have something called the get code feature at the right of your Vertex CS Studio. If you see here, it gives you a set of instructions for you to get started with, along with the code that you can use it in your application with the um, configurations that you've basically set here: the temperature, the output limit, and even the output format. These are all something that you could get immediately as you notice get code here. Now, if you want, say, you want to integrate it with some other app that you've already built, so you could probably copy paste this to another app, and then you call this function here, which is generate, and then you would be able to send the inputs and outputs by playing with this methods to start with. So to get started, so these are all the libraries that you would initially start with. Now, so this is with the Gemini model that I just showed. It may be a little different with the Gemini 2.0, but if you are a user who has already tried out the AI Studio or so, you could um, check the code out here, which is like very similar to what you get with the AI Studio, where um, you pass the information to the LLM. This way, you know, the code and the libraries are almost similar to that of the AI Studio. So I think I'll just take another 5-10 minutes. Hope it's okay to everyone before we have the Q&A. So coming on to the other set of modalities that I was talking about, right? So if you see here, you could also start working with chatbots here within this interface, which is the chat, where like if you want to initially get started with something, you could probably use the set of examples that you have here, or you would start building with your own code also. Let someone raise their hand. Okay, I don't think so. So The system instruction is something that the basic, the uh, initial, say, for example, when you want to uh, start interacting with the model, you give the bare set of minimum instructions for the model to work with. Something like it has to be professional, um, it has to be mindful of any hallucinations. By hallucinations, I mean um, it should be factual and not provide any incorrect information and all that. You could provide as system instruction here. And then you could use this interface to talk to the models about that specific subject. For example, here it's a company chatbot. It might be like you have some basic company information available, and you want to interact with the model about that, then you could start. Or if you want to build something like a travel app recommendation or recommender, you could start talking about I want to book something like uh, book an itinerary, plan an itinerary, and all that. And even for this, you would see that the code is available over here, which you can start working with. And if you are using the Gemini 2.0, you probably might see a different types of model, which is like the model is capable of answering or like providing outputs which are in text, audio as well as image based formats as well. So that's where the multimodal nature of Gemini 2.0 comes into picture. And you can also do something like live, by meaning it can stream this continuously, or you want to talk to it as if you're talking to someone on a phone also, you could do that here. Coming to other parts, which is like media, I was talking about Imagen, which is for you to generate images of different nature based on your requirements of also, let's say, a man in black suit running to get his flight. I don't know if it works, but yeah, if it is there, yes. Yeah, so it has some contents about um, person generation and all that. Okay, so there is some safety concern here, but yeah, you can try out with something different prompt to do it. Translation, we were talking about, like, for example, if you want to translate some things on, you have some content in your mother tongue and that you want to convert it into language like English or any other. So you could use this, the translate feature. Here also you would see the get code to get started with. So apart from this, you may also see something called the model development and build with generative AI. So you can see some code samples available here, which could help you get started with uh, your applications. Also, you could probably start exploring your uh, once you have access to the Google Cloud. Also. Um, So when you want to play with your own data, you could probably use something called the feature store. Like if you are working with machine learning models, you want to build machine learning features also, and you want to work with your tabular data sets or like some unstructured data sets also, you could use a dataset feature here. And all these that you see here, model registry, online prediction, and all that is about how you want to build APIs using the model that you've built, or like the model that you have used in your app or solution. So these are all ways for you to let users interact with your application through some kind of APIs. Or so the model registry is basically how many different versions of model. that you have built here. So as you start creating models, you would see um, you can start training your models based on the data that you have, or you could probably import something to the model registry, and you can expose it as an endpoint to the users. So these are all some of the features that are available in Google Cloud and Vertex AI for you to get started with. Um, yeah, so with this, I'll probably open stop for any Q&A because we're almost out of time. Yes, so Vertex AI is uh, if you have access to Vertex AI through the Google Cloud platform, you would probably need some kind of credits to get started with. And I think if you finish the sign up process, yes, you should be able to do it. Or you could also set up your own billing to get started with. Recently, let me see if I can get that link. 1 minute. Recently, Google also has announced for use of Vertex AI um, without signing up for these credits also, but then the account could be like short-lived. I'll try to find the documentation. 1 minute. Meanwhile, any other question I want to use? It's not at in production. I want to use IDX, but Android development with Kotlin is not in production. It's in the um, wish list. Um, yeah, I think for this, I'll try to see if there is any other way, but because I'm not an Android developer, maybe when you go through the mentorship sessions or boot camps, you probably might get access to or like answer to some of these questions that may be related to IDX or Android development. Yeah. So thanks, Abhishek. I think you should Gajanan should contact Abhishek to get this sorted out. Okay. So let me share my screen again. All right. So the pre-trained models, um, so it depends upon the use case. One thing, if you're looking at from a very generative or general perspective, the models that are available are either in um, the models like Gemini and the open source models that you see here. You should also explore what is there in Model Garden. So these are all ready to use models, which may have gone through different cycles of pre-training. The I would also suggest you choose the pre-trained model from here based on the use case that you have. If it is like based on, say, if you're analyzing some documents or so, you could very well use Gemini. Or if you want to use some kind of facial recognition, or if you want to use image recognition, so you probably might have to use the Cloud Vision APIs, or which are available as part of Vertex AI. Yeah, so the answer is depending upon the use case, you will have you can find different set of LLMs and task specific models here in the model garden for you to start with. Um, so if you are identifying gestures in a video, so there are two types of gestures. If you ask me, one is like you have say you want to understand gestures based on the facial expressions. So in those cases, the face recognition API might come into picture. Or if you want to use gestures, say for example, hand movements, or if you want to see like specific gestures that may not be available, but most likely Gemini and the open specific models, which are like the Meta and all that, may be capable of doing gesture-based recognition. I would suggest you to try Gemini. Um, may not be the latest, even the older versions of Gemini are good enough for those tasks. But if it is like very specific gestures that you're looking at, maybe you will have to work on tuning the model. So Gemini 1.5 Pro, for example, provides avenues for you to train the model with those gestures. Or you could also check out some of the models which are available in Hugging Face. For example, the Polygemma or uh, other models which may be capable of like I don't remember right now. Yeah, but Hugging Face also has some of the models which may be available in Model Garden as well. All right. So Vertex AI as such, if you see, is like kind of SDK driven. So depending upon what programming language you have, also there are different SDK versions depending upon the language that you're using, which you could uh, like kind of import and then start using in your models. Or you could also do different, like you could also build your APIs on Google Cloud. You could expose them as endpoints. Say, for example, you could build a cloud function, which is like function as a service on Google Cloud. So basically, the function does the logic that you want to build. The cloud function, all that it needs is like some set of basic parameters or input parameters for you to send it, and then it gives you an output, and that you could consume from your mobile or so. Um, Another interesting way of using on your apps is like you could probably use on-device models, like some of the lightweight models that may be available within your app. You could call them within your Android apps, and all of them have some kind of SDKs um, or documentation that are available on cloud.google.com for you to get started with. So, okay, great question. So if you see here, I hope my screen is visible again. So Vertex AI provides AutoML as like a low code or a no code interface for you to get started with. So you could start creating your AutoML model right here. Let me go to tabular. So there are two different or three different use cases: regression or classification, as well as forecasting that is available on AutoML with your tabular data. So with this, you start with first you create a data set. And then once this data set is created, you would be able to upload things like a CSV file or or uh, or you have your data available in your cloud storage. Cloud storage is basically a storage space um, which is accessible from your Google Cloud, like just like how you use Drive also, which is like very much open for you to use with your Gmail accounts or so. Google Cloud Storage is like a storage space which is almost similar to Drive, just that it is accessible only within your cloud space also. Or like if you expose it out, you could use it. Um, yeah, so you could get started here. Let me show, um, let me ping you the documentation. 1 minute. So, yeah. All right. So this is the documentation. I mean, I'm pinging it on the chat here, but then you might, I would need your help to copy it to the YouTube channel as well. Yeah, so there is one question from Prabhu, which is like, how can Vertex AI help me in dataset classification? Like, suppose I have MP4 video and I extract frames from it and use pre-trained model. So how can I leverage it with um, this one? So very good question. I'll probably show one such demo that I can show with Gemini here. So this is very specific to uh, like function calling, which is like a little advanced compared to what we have with Gemini. But let me think for this as well. 1 minute. So if you see this documentation, so this is basically the Google Cloud's repository, which has lots and lots of content with related to the different kind of use cases that you can work with Gemini, with you can work with different features of Vertex AI and all that. So this is the repository, which is the generative AI repository, which is all generative AI. And for example, dataset classification, you could start with simply writing a prompt for you to like uh, to instruct the model that analyze this video and uh, give me the overall sentiment of this video. Like, is it on a higher, on a happy note, or is it on a sad note, and all that you could get started with. And your uh, you could upload your file within the Vertex AI Studio to get started with. And then you can start building it as like an API or like a full-fledged function using those parameters that you could get, like you get with get code. Yeah, I hope this one is like helpful for you folks. There is a lot of content which is available. Please do go through that. So frame by frame, if you ask me, um, all of you should try Gemini, the Gemini 1.5 Pro, the Gemini 1.5 Flash, as well as Gemini 2.0. So what or how the Gemini models basically work is that so this is the background which happens when you send a video to um, the Gemini model to work with. Say, for example, I'll just show one of this um, video here. You could probably see this, which is like analyze this video to like understand some video features. Am I sharing with this thing? So this video is about Rio de Janeiro, and you see the prompt is basically giving some instruction, which is like chapterize a video by video content into chapters and provide a summary for each other. Yeah, this is like very bare minimum prompt, but you could probably start giving your own set of prompts, like how you want it to be and all that. You should all try this prompt gallery, which has like so many examples that may be um, available for you or probably is able to answer some of your questions. But if you're looking at more advanced questions, yes, you will have boot camps and all that to get sorted. So if you see here, this is the Gemini model. You would also use the different versions that are available here. I'll start with 2.0 only just to show you a glimpse of what it does. So this is how you want the model to return, which is like the time and then the summary. So this in the background is going to process the video frame by frame. It is going to analyze the audio at different timestamps. So basically, it does this transcription at the backend, as well as the text, if it may be available, and provides you a detailed output based on how we want to do it. So this is the time code. What happens? So this is the aerial view. So if you remember, if you see in the video, the beginning first 10 seconds or so, we were seeing about the Rio de Janeiro statue, the Jesus statue, and then the second one was about people, beaches, and all that. So different timestamps have different content for you to look at. So the model is like probably it took around like not even 5 seconds to analyze this whole video to give you an output. If you're going to use like very task specific models or like some other model that um, are like going to be like specific to video processing, specific to audio processing, also it is going to take their own speed time to process it and provide an output. But 2.0 provides all that within like just few clicks. So that is a capability. I would suggest all of you to try it. You could try uploading the content, or like if you have some YouTube URL also that you want to try it out, or like you have a drive link linked with this account, you could upload it there and then import it. So always one of the best practices is like you give the video first and then or give the media first, followed by the prompt for the model to understand that there is something that it needs to do with the video, and then it starts doing it.
So we have another question from chat box.
Okay.
What can I use to track the eye movements? Can you please suggest?
Eye movements. I would suggest you could try Gemini again, because it is like it depends upon your use cases. If it is like if you want to just classify the eye is probably facing the right side or in the left side, you could start with Gemini. If you want to do it real time, yes, it does have the capabilities. For example, the next video or the next session with Gemini 2.0, probably you might see how you can do it real time with Gemini 2.0, where you could do live sessions. You could share your screen, or you could talk to the model real time, or you could probably even um, let the model see some video, or like um, analyze a video on the fly. It is capable of doing it. But if you're looking at very like super detailed, or all that, probably um, you might have to do some kind of pre-processing for Gemini to understand also, or um, you might have to use a specific model along with Gemini as well to get it to get to what you want. But yes, to get started, yes, Gemini 2.0 real time, it is capable of doing. Um, I'm not really sure about the Google Play platform. I would suggest you reach out to the open forums also that may be available, that are probably building this, or even I think UPI assets, the Beam, or not Beam, the UPI NPCL, right? Or NPCI, sorry. So the NPCI might have good documentation for you to get this information with. But this is probably outside the limits of Google Cloud, I'd say. So there was also one question from Gajanan, which is, can I go with OpenCV? Yes, of course, you can very well go with OpenCV, which is like you have to build your own segmentation models, or you probably use some other models to understand, like do some face contouring, or like understanding where the IE is, and where there is where the black of the IE is probably in a different scale, and then the white of the IE is in a different scale, and all that you could do very well with OpenCV programmatically. You could also try generating the code for that with Gemini. Gemini has that capability, the code generation capabilities, um, which are actually pretty good. Of course, if you will not use it completely blindly, you will have to do um, some of your unit testing on top of that to get to a shape. But yes. Real time. Um, so Vertex AI. So okay. So Vertex AI and Cloud Functions. For example, what you see here, say for example, this get code that you see here is basically a function definition. A function definition with set of inputs and all that. If you do the same thing, if you publish the same function as a cloud function, which is basically some kind of a serverless environment. By serverless, meaning you don't have to control where it is running and all that, but just that it is running within your cloud environment also. You could deploy it, or like you could push it. Um, Say you compress all this function as a zip file, and then you deploy it in Google Cloud Functions. Like there are commands that you can use to deploy it, and then you can start using it as an API. Yeah, if once you have access to the Google Cloud, you could always you could search for that within here. Cloud Run, Cloud Functions. There is also Cloud Functions. So Cloud Run is like a runtime based environment also. Cloud Function is like serverless that you could use, where you could just deploy a function also. I don't have access, like I've not enabled it, but once you enable it, you should be able to do it with your account, where you could create a function here. I'm just enabling. Yeah, so Cloud Functions, again, it supports different set of programming languages, different runtimes, different containers for you to run with and all that. I'd suggest you to explore that, yes. Um, yeah, so there is one question from Prabhu, which is I want to ask how I can integrate Vertex AI with a GUI interface. This question has arisen due to me being a Colab user. Great question. So for you to get started with like a simple UI to get started with, so uh, a lot of users either resort to something like two kind of platforms or interfaces, which is one is Gradio, other one is Streamlit, which gives you like basic um, kind of containers for you to get started with, like a text box, like radio buttons, drop downs, and text boxes or galleries and all that. These two platforms give you that bare minimum capabilities to get started with, and it also gives you set of APIs for you to like when you expose, like for example, you see the function the function got generated in Vertex AI, which is the generate function. You could call the generate function from the Gradio's UI base code. You could probably check that out, and you might also find some samples which are available in the generative AI repository here, which uses, I think these are the ones, the sample apps that you see here, maybe using an interface which can build an UI. And once you um, import those libraries, the Gradio or the Streamlit libraries, if you like do something like a run or like um, I think this Streamlit.run or Gradio dot the function call that may be using, you would be able to like these apps generate a link which you can like access as a UI or so. Yes, so it is possible with these two. Apart from that, you also might like if you're good at AngularJS or any other or Python Flask or all that, you could also use Python Flask within your Colab to expose an endpoint, and that gets that can be used within a Colab also. By the way, like if you when you look at Vertex AI, 1 minute, let me go here. When you go to get code, you have something called the Open Notebook, which creates a Colab instance on the cloud. So with the Colab, with the regular Colab that you are using outside the platform, you may be subjected to like the runtime gets disconnected sometimes, or like if you want, like after a certain period of activity, it gets deactivated, or if you want to scale it up, basically you want more compute, like you want to run it on GPUs also. The Colab Enterprise gives you a similar set of features, but with more control over like how you want to run it, how you want to scale it, or what kind of instances. The instances are like, or if you want to say schedule it as a job or something like that, the Colab Enterprise has the capabilities. So it is all. So this is an instance of Colab running on Google Cloud within your account, not on the public space. Is there any other question?
Was asked one like, but it's a suppose a reinforced learning agent is created. I want to run it on a separate simulator platform for training. How can I do it?
Um, yeah, I am. Um, I still don't understand the question completely. But to answer your question, um, Colab Enterprise as well as Workbench gives you all the libraries that you may be needing. For example, TensorFlow or or something like PyTorch or so, where you want to um, train the models or so. Uh, you could do it through code within the Workbench as well as Colab Enterprise for you to train your models. I hope that's um, what you're looking for. But if you're even more like if you want to dig deep also, probably you can reach out later. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Usma. I wish everyone uh, best of luck in implementing their solution. I hope you all have a great time learning something new in the next few months as part of this challenge. Yes, happy learning. Thank you all for the time. See you next time.